Welcome to the Profit Check Mastery, where we're going to walk you through how to find winners when you're outsourcing in minutes and leave behind the losers. We're going to be talking about strategies that you can use, whether it's retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, or wholesale. Um, and for a quick little download, you can download this Profit Check 5 checklist. You just go to fultonfba.com/PC5, and that will help you print out this checklist. We're going to go through this checklist, kind of an overview of it today in this masterclass and walk through because if you've sold on Amazon before, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't yet, but maybe you've had an experience before where you've gone out, you've found items that you thought were going to be profitable to sell on Amazon, you purchased it, you listed on Amazon, and then crickets. Nothing was purchased. Or maybe like a few little items here and there, and you're like, hey, did I do something wrong? What happened? Well, we're going to help you overcome that. If you've experienced that before, we're going to show you the things that you need to focus on so you can avoid that. And if you are brand new to Amazon and you have that fear of purchasing items, because I know sometimes people don't ever actually put any money into purchasing inventory because they are afraid of wasting money. I don't want to spend money on this and send it to Amazon and then it not sell. And then that fear holds them from actually getting some momentum going and really being able to grow a profit snowball over time, because that profit snowball, the way you build it is to source inventory, send it to Amazon, it sells, you make a profit, you reinvest that profit into more inventory, send it into Amazon, and continue over and over. And Q4 is one of the best times to do that because items sell faster in Q4 and the snowball can grow. But even no matter what time of year it is, you can use that strategy. But a lot of times, we're worried about items that is this the right item? And for some of us, we can talk ourselves out of purchasing almost any item. We can like almost find an excuse not to buy anything. And so today, we're going to walk you through the profit check, just the profit check 5 checklist of things that you need to look at. There are 5 things that if you go through this thought process and make sure every item that you're buying to sell on Amazon checks off these profit check 5 checklist items, and we're going to go through them one by one. In fact, I could probably talk for about 3 or 4 hours on this and go really deep into this, but I'm going to shove as much information as I can into the next hour because basically in about 40 minutes when we're done with the presentation, we'll open things up to some questions. But in about 40 minutes, you're going to walk away with a proven checklist of things and a thought pattern process for you to walk through when you're looking for inventory. When you pick up an inventory and you scan the barcode, or when you're on your computer and you're looking online, there are 5 things you need to make sure are checked off. And if anything is a not something worth checking off that list, don't buy it. So we're gonna jump into that, and because buying duds, it's really frustrating and it's a waste of money. So again, we want to give you the steps that you need to take in the thought process so that you are confident in the things that you are buying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. We're going to walk through the steps of the Profit Check 5. Again, if you have the link, fultonfba.com/PC5, and you can follow along with us and be able to just really do some really good sourcing. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint and I'm going to, turn this on. All right, so Rebecca, do you see the cool Profit Check logo?
Yes, it is there.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so let's jump into this. We got so much to cover. I don't want to waste any of your time. The first of the 5 things that we're going to talk about when it comes to seeing if you should sell this item on Amazon is step number 1. which is restrictions. Are you even allowed to sell this item on Amazon? Now, I want to make sure everyone understands. We've like there's a given and understood part of this profit check 5. We could have called it a profit check 6 and just had something else be number 1. But like these are only items that you can already tell are profitable to sell on Amazon. Like you realize if I pay this much for it and I can sell it for this much, after fees, I will still make a profit and I'll still make a nice profit. So if the item is profitable, then you move into the profit check 5 checklist. And step number 1, are you even allowed to sell this item on Amazon? Obviously, if you're not allowed to sell it, put it back on the shelf. Um, but there's actually a few steps to take before you even do that. We've talked about this before. In fact, in our Momentum FBA program, we have a whole mini course called the Restriction Buster about how to help yourself get approved to sell more items on Amazon. First, the step-by-step process of getting approved, what you need to do, what you need to follow, and how to increase your chances to getting approved to sell more items. So that's in our Momentum FBA program, the Restriction Buster mini course. But every time you source an item, you need to double check to see if you are approved to sell this item. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. One of the ways that you can do that is through the Amazon Seller app. And so you open up the Amazon Seller app, and you can either click this little button up here that is the it looks like a little camera, and you can open up the barcode, or you can go down here to the listing and you can click on that, and then you can go up and click on add a product. And when you click add a product, it opens up this area where you can type in the keywords or the UPC, or you can go down here again if you're like, I don't want to type in the title, I want the exact barcode. Type in that and then start looking for it. So say I'm trying to sell this Hape baby drum toy. So it says requires approval. Okay, I see it's requires approval. But I don't just see that and take it as a no and move on. No, I go through and try to seek approval. And seeking approval is pretty easily. You can go into the app. You can see here, I've already requested for approval, so it says requested for approval. But on your Amazon Seller app, it might say requires approval. And you can click on that, and it opens up a little application within the Amazon Seller app for you to request approval. So you apply. And it'll either say, congratulations, based on your seller metrics, you are approved. Or it'll say, hey, there's other things I need, like these documents that Amazon is requesting. And then you can upload those documents if you have them, agree and submit, and hopefully get approved that way. And again, in the mini course Restriction Buster mini course in Momentum FBA, we go in depth into how to increase your chances of getting approved to sell more items. But that's the first thing you need to do. Now, there's other ways that you can, you know, be see what else, other tools that you can use. You can use a Scoutify. There's a little shortcut in Scoutify to apply to sell more items on Amazon. There's tools like RevSeller if you're doing it on a laptop or a desktop, and you can apply that way. You can even just go and log into Seller Central and go through the same process. So there's multiple ways. We can share with you those other ways, and you can find out more about that in the Restriction Buster mini course in the Momentum FBA program. But that's the first thing you need to do. Am I even allowed to sell this item? Because if you're not allowed to sell it, you should not move forward. You should not go through and be like, oh, well, I need to check these other. No, you need to get approved. Always check your restrictions before you run any other type of steps, any other type of numbers. Always check. So that's number 1. Check restrictions. So you've done that through the Amazon Seller app or whatever else. That's great. All right, step number 2, sales rank history. And basically, when you're looking at the sales rank history, you're asking the question, will this item sell quickly? There's monthly storage fees, there's additional storage fees for items that are at Amazon over 6 months. Um, and I always teach our coaching students and our Momentum FBA subscribers, you want to send in a 30 to 60 day supply of what you think is going to sell over the next 30 to 60 days on Amazon. That's what you want to send to Amazon. But you need to understand the sales rank and see if this item really will sell quickly. So here's a question for you. I'm going to show you an item, and we're going to walk through this. So this item, it's in the baby category. It's a fun little tummy time toy for a baby to play with. It's a soft toy. You see like, oh, I can buy this for $6.97 online or retail, or you can get it wholesale. And the sale price is $32.99. Okay, well, after fees, I'm going to make some profits. That's really great. That's awesome. The ROI is 200%. That's really cool. The sales rank is 225 thousand. 225,931 is the sales rank. And so if you know anything about sales rank, every category in Amazon is a little bit different. That's why we put together this free updated once a month sales rank chart for our subscribers at Fulton FBA. If you go to fultonfba.com/sales rank, you can get this. You can get the updated October 2025, or if you're watching this on some replay in the future, whatever month you're in, we have the latest month. And you can kind of see, because we break it down, all the main sales categories, the number of items in each category, and then what the percentage of that sales rank number matches based on that category. So for the category of baby, the baby products, a sales rank of 225,000 is around the top 10%. Now, the top 10% sounds pretty awesome, except I only teach and have only found success buying and reselling items that are in the top 3% or better, meaning top 3%, top 2%, or top 1%. I almost never, ever, ever, ever sell an item that has an average sales rank in the top 5%, except maybe Q4, and then never, ever the top 20, the top 10%. And that sales rank number is in the top 10%, which again sounds really good, but I think maybe this item will only sell once or twice a year. And I want items to sell more than that because I want items to sell a lot faster. I don't want to wait 6 months for this item to sell. So think about it for yourself. Just this information alone, would you buy this item for resale? Oh, it's profitable. But if you're just looking at today's sales rank, it just looks like it's never going to sell. It might take 6 months to sell. But if you take a few seconds longer and look at a Keepa graph, you can kind of get a bigger picture. And so I'm going to show you a Keepa graph. This is the Keepa graph for this particular item, and you can see right here, if at this time, this is when this particular item had a sales rank of 225,000, right here. So, and you're like, okay, it's not selling, but like, what's the average sales rank over a 3 to 6 month time period? Well, if you take a look at this graph, you can see over like the average sales rank during this particular time is actually more around 100,000. It's just at that one time of time, the sales rank during that one particular moment was artificially high. And so, I can sell this item for $35 almost all year long. There's more information about why this, as you can see, the blue line is the price of the new cost. Well, all of a sudden, right here around April 1st, that line disappeared. And the line disappeared because the item went out of stock. And if the item's out of stock, you can't sell items that are out of stock. So of course the sales rank is going to continue to get higher and increase. And once that item came back into stock, boom, there's a sales rank. And if you know anything about Keepa, one of the first lessons you learn is anytime the sales rank goes from a high number to a low number means at least one sale. So the average sales rank of this item is actually around 100,000, maybe even better than that. But you don't know that unless you take a few extra moments and look into the history, the sales rank history, and you can do that with Keepa. So that kind of gives you an idea of how important looking at sales rank history is. So first you look and see, am I approved to sell this item? The second thing you do is you look at the sales rank history. What story does the sales rank history tell you about this particular item? All right, let's take a look at another item. All right, this one's in the patio lawn and garden. It's actually a leaf mulcher. You just take your leaf, you put it in the top, and it mulches, makes leaf mulch. Um, the buy cost is $50. The sales price on Amazon is $150. And the after fees, you're going to make $28.92 in profit. So that's 57% ROI. That's pretty good. And you're like, man, I might want to buy five of these. I want to buy five of these because, it's got a good profit margin. And the sales rank is actually pretty good. Now the sales rank in the patio lawn garden is 400,000. And you're like, wait, Stephen, you said 200,000 was in the top 10% for baby. And you're telling me that a higher rank number, 450,000 in lawn and patio lawn and garden is actually good? Yes, because again, if you look at this sales rank chart, the patio lawn and garden, you can take a look at that and see that that is actually in the top 2%. And what I tell you before, items that have an average sales rank in the top 2% or 1% or 3% or better, is what I like. I like to source that. But the key word in what I just said was average sales rank. If you're looking at this particular item and you're seeing that it has a sales rank today of 454,000, you want to take a few extra seconds to look at a Keepa graph and see, because that's this is what happens. This was a screenshot I took on August 18th. So August 18th at 10 o'clock in the morning, yes, the item had a 450,000 sales rank. But just a few hours earlier, at 6:33 in the morning, it had, what was that, a 7.2 million sales rank, which is way above, like, that's around the top 10, 15, 20%. Because just one sale can have the sales rank number increase and look really, really good for one day. But you can see this is a 3-month window, and there's not been a sale. This green line that you can see here just continues to get higher and higher and higher. And then boom, one sale, boom. This is a nice little dip. So don't get tricked by 1-day dips. 1-day dips can cause you a a few months of frustration because you're waiting for this item to sell, and it might only sell once every 6 months. And guess what? That was just yesterday. Now you're gonna have to wait another 6 months. So you want to take a look at the sales rank. So that is the second thing. So the first of the profit check 5 was restrictions. Am I approved to sell it? The second thing, sales rank history. What's the story behind the sales rank history? Does it have consistent sales data that I can look at? All right, let's look at number 3. This third step. Take a look at the pricing history. Does the price of this item stay fairly consistent? Obviously, prices are going to go up and down from time to time. And you almost never find an item with like a flat sales rank, or excuse me, a flat sales price history. But does the price usually stay pretty consistent? So we're going to take another example. We're going to look at an item. It's an item that's in the toys and games category. We're going to look at this Paw Patrol toy. The buy cost is $30. You can sell it for $80, and the profit after fees is almost $20. Again, you might be thinking, man, I might buy five or six of those. If I buy, if it's profit of about $20 after fees, if I buy five, that's $100 profit right there. The ROI is 66%. I love that. I love that so much. And the sales rank 52,078. Okay, well, you know, I know to make sure I'm approved to sell it. And the sales rank shows pretty consistent sales ranks over time. But let's take a look at the pricing history. Here's a Keepa graph for this item over time, and you can see the blue line is the pricing. Now I know there's a bunch of green lines up and down that are kind of making it hard to see, but the blue line is the pricing, and you can see the pricing starting, around $24 right here, and then it goes up to about 40, then about 50, then boom, oh my goodness, up to about 60, and then over 80, over 80. Now in this little comparison, this little thing I was walking you through, I told you that the price was selling for about 80. So it looks like if we looked at this item and just assumed the $80 price was going to be consistent and expected, then we would have purchased multiples of these. And look what happened as time continued to go on. The price went back down, down to a price that's not profitable for us. So when it comes to understanding price, you want to make sure that the prices stay consistent. And if the prices do get lowered based on the past, is it still profitable at that lower price? I mean, if it's still profitable at that lower price, then that's fine. I mean, profit is profit. So steady pricing definitely beats spiky pricing. We want as flat of the line as possible. Now, a completely flat line, unless there's just one particular competitor selling the item, the flat line price is almost not going to happen. It's always going to go up and down a little bit. But you want that range of the price that is going up and down to be pretty close to the same price and not be. I mean, look at the difference. I mean, in October, this item is selling for $22. And then in February, it's over $85. I mean, that's a huge price difference. And so you can avoid making a really bad decision by just looking at the pricing history. So again, step one, restrictions. Am I approved? Step two, sales rank history. Is the sales rank pretty consistent? Step three, the pricing history. Is the pricing pretty consistent? And then step number four, the competition. Look at the competition. Are there too many competitors? Now, some people might say, okay, Stephen, tell me, how many competitors are too many? How many are there? Well, it depends. I mean, if an item sells only once a year, two competitors are too many. If the item sells 1,000 times a week, I mean, I'm fine with over 100 competitors. So you kind of want to look at the sales rank and compare it to it, but you do need to take a look at the number of competition. So you remember this item, this toy here, this Paw Patrol toy. Um, are there too many competitors for this Paw Patrol toy? If there's 3 competitors, are there too many competitors? Or maybe there's 60 competitors. What's actually too many? Well, there's another piece of information that a Keepa graph can give you that shows you the number of competitors selling this particular item. It's called more historical data. You kind of there's a little button down here. It's kind of cropped off right there. But if you click on it, you can see the competition and it will show you the number of new offers. And you can kind of see how many of the competitors are. At the top, it looks like there's 70 competitors at the highest moment. And at the lowest moment, almost none at some point. And so, again, I like consistency when it comes to sales rank, consistency when it comes to pricing, consistency when it comes to competitors. Now, give or take, you can give some wiggle room, but you can always kind of see why the prices have gone up in January and February here, why the prices went up. It's because the number of competitors went down. It's the law of supply and demand in action. And then once the the supply started to increase, and that happened in May. I don't know if there was a big clearance sale, and all of a sudden tons of people started sending inventory in. And in May, the number of competitors just rose greatly. Well, that's when the price started to drop. So you want to take a look at this, and so Keepa helps you look at it. You can also take a look at the number of competitors just with your own eyes. You can go to an Amazon sales page and you can scroll down and you can see this link, other sellers at Amazon. So there's eight people selling this item in new, starting at $54. So if you click on that, this little sidebar comes to the side and you can kind of see. Now I'm using a Keepa Chrome extension. I know we've been talking about Keepa a lot, fultonfba.com/Keepa to be able to get some of that. Um, but you can kind of see what part of the Keepa extension shows you the stock levels. So you can look through how many competitors there are, but you can also see how many items they have in stock. So this particular person has three in stock. The person who has the buy box has three in stock. The next lowest price is a pretty significant price jump, up to $72, and they've got, over 30 in stock. And so you always want to make sure, and this takes time. And again, there's a lot more I can teach you about this and show you, but it takes time to learn and kind of get used to the obviously the lower number of competitors, the better. But when it comes to items on Amazon, um, sometimes there are some items they can handle 200 competitors because the sales ranking is so awesome and they sell so often. And so that's something for you to look at. And then the final thing, now this is not the final thing we're going to talk about. We still have things we want to teach you and show you and walk you through. Is that you want to make sure the last thing you check is that the product page is a 100% match with the item that you're wanting to sell. And so we'll do a little test. Here's an example. So say I'm sorry, I'm doing this. I'm putting underwear on everyone's screen. But say you're outsourcing and you find this underwear and you see it's profitable. You see you're approved to sell it. You see that it has a good sales rank. It's got consistent pricing. You're going through all of your checklist. Yeah, there's not a lot of competition based, in comparison in correlation with that sales rank. So you're wanting to sell these items. So take a good look at these underwears. This is the item. You scan it, and then you look at it on Amazon. Okay, now is this an exact match of the items that we just saw a moment ago? I mean, it looks very similar. It's definitely a 10 pack of underwear, but is it an exact match? Um, I'll do a side comparison so you can see. This is what you have in hand that you scanned your barcode, and this is what it looks like on Amazon. So same company, at least it's a 10 pack. There's some colors that are the same, but it's not an exact match. It's not an exact match. It's different. And so you want to make sure you always have a 100% exact match of the item that you're selling on Amazon. This is especially true when it comes to items with variations because look at this. There's the variation of classic length and a shorter length. Then there's small, medium, large, extra large, double extra large. Then there's 5 pack and a 10 pack. And there's different variations for all those. So you want to make sure the item you're actually looking at and the data you are looking at and the Amazon listing that you are selling your item on are an exact match. Because if it's not an exact match, that's almost 100% returned item. that almost 100% of the time the item will be returned. You might get a negative feedback. I bought this and the seller sent me this other thing. And that's happened to me. I don't know has that happened to any of you before where you sold something on Amazon and you thought it was an exact match because you really didn't take the time to spend a few seconds to double check. That's happened to me before. I remember one time I purchased a, a it was a board game called Boopoly. It was a Halloween Monopoly version, and I was excited. I sold it, and guess what? I got it returned, and the customer said, I bought the Boopoly with pewter tokens, and you sold me some Boopoly with these plastic cheap tokens. And I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize there was two different versions. So let's do another example. Let me ask you, if you're outsourcing and you find this Harry Potter Seen It, the DVD board game, the spellbinding game with Harry Potter movie clips. All right, so you want to sell this on Amazon. You scan the barcode and you look up and you're like, okay, I'm going to send it in on this listing. Is this an exact match to this? It's a Seen It Harry Potter edition. The spellbinding game with Harry Potter clips. All right, looks good to me. No, it's not. It's not the same. They're two different ones. One of them is rectangle and it's a regular edition. And then you got this other one, it's a square and it is the deluxe edition. So it is two different things. So sometimes businesses will use the same UPC. They'll use the same UPC when they come out with a new or an updated product. And so that's something that you need to walk through and think about because just because the UPC matches doesn't mean the product page is going to match the item that you're wanting to sell yourself. And so it's so important to go through and make sure that all five of these are and this takes uh this is a learnable skill. This is something that I can do in under 60 seconds per item. And and you don't just all of a sudden end up there, but with the repetition, it's just like working out at the gym. The more reps you do, the easier it is to lift. And the more times you go through this Profit Check 5 checklist, the faster you can do it. Now, almost everything I've told you has a few like what's the word like it depends and there's different types of variations and there's certain circumstances that are a little bit different and so we can go into all that more in the future but there's like I told you before I can do a 3 or 4 hour masterclass on this topic and we've stuffed as much into this masterclass for today and I do want to remind everyone if you have any questions put those in the chat and put them in the questions tab. But this is the time where we're going to answer your questions. But before we do that, I want to make sure everyone is aware about Momentum FBA. Momentum FBA is a subscription-based Amazon training, coaching, and support system. It is your easier path to higher profits. It is your path towards daily sales so that every single day you're selling something on Amazon. And then after you start selling something every day on Amazon, we help upgrade you to selling something every day of specific items. And that's a way for you to really profit and build that profit snowball. And Momentum FBA, it's a subscription-based service. There's no cancellation fees. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime. But it's something that can help you finally get consistently better day by day in your Amazon business. Because every single month we have a specific thing that we focus on to help you learn and master. And there's things that you can do on your own. And then there's two live coaching sessions where you can ask questions and get clarity about everything. Um, Momentum FBA is easily your next step to take to scale your Amazon business, to finally start getting consistency. Because like the very first week of every month, we drop a brand new mini course. I talked before about the Restriction Buster mini course. We had a retail arbitrage mini course. There are other like the most recent mini course that we dropped was how to double your sales on Amazon mini course. And so every single month a new mini course drops. It's not overwhelmingly humongous. Well, there's so much information that you can't have time. No, we give you bite-sized pieces of information so that you can focus on that and grow during that month. So week one, mini course drops. Week two, we have a co-working session, a live co-working session slash Q&A session where we help you with taking actual steps live on the calls and then open up for whatever Q&A based off of that topic. So that's week two. In week three of Momentum FBA, we talk through like the things you need to focus on that specific month of the year. So like right now, it's October. So we're going to talk through on the third week of this month, the third Wednesday of this month, we are going to be walking you through the things you need to be doing in the month of October to prepare for November, December, January, and beyond. Because there are things that you need to be doing now to prepare for opportunities that are coming up around the corner. I mean, there's things that you can do in October to get ready for Black Friday. There's things you can do in October to get ready for Christmas sales. There's things you can do in October to get ready for New Year's opportunities. There's things that and I can just keep going on. So that's the third week is a monthly focused training um, session. And then week four of every month, we have a live coaching session where I walk you through the latest updates when it comes to what is working right now with selling on Amazon. What other clients are finding success with, the latest Amazon changes, the latest rules, the biggest opportunities that are available, so that you don't have to worry about like waiting till like you hear someone like 6 months later, oh, I've been doing this thing for like 6 or 7 months. It's been great. And you're like, man, I wish I would have gotten in on the ground floor. Well, you can with Momentum FBA because that's what week four, it's almost um like a State of the Union call where I talk about the state of Amazon. What's working? What's best? What's the most things that you need to focus on? What you need to start ignoring? How you need to pivot your business if something needs to be pivoted? And we walk through all of that. And there's a great opportunity for you to finally get consistent help in your Amazon business and it be super affordable. In fact, right now there is a sale going on for the annual membership for Momentum FBA. Like I said before, there's no contracts or anything like that, but if you want to sign up for an annual membership, there is a big sale going on. If you, in fact, if you go to fulltimefba.com/annual, that will take you right to the sign up page. But usually, like before this sale, our regular price for Momentum FBA for the annual subscription is $649. $649 for 12 months of the year. That's 12 mini courses, 12 live co-working sessions, 12 monthly focus training, 12 State of the Union addresses and coaching. And then also we throw in every other month a skill sprint. Last month we had a 30-day retail arbitrage skill sprint with the exact steps that you need to take and follow through with to do retail arbitrage. We told you, hey, go to this store, go to these stores and do this particular strategy. And then, hey, this time we're going to focus on replens. And this time we're going to focus on just speed. And this time we're going to focus on, something new. The regular price for Momentum FBA for the annual membership is $649. But this very limited time sale price brings it down to $429 for the year. This is like the same price that our founders got to lock in. And it's the lowest price it's ever been, and it's never going to be lower than that. And so if you want to save $220 off of the annual membership, then you want to sign up now. And again, that link, fulltimefba.com/annual. The cool thing about Momentum FBA a lot of things that we do, we archive them so that you have access to them to the previous ones. And so you have those kind of sprints. We've got upcoming skill sprints, like a cash flow skill sprint. We're going to do an online arbitrage skill sprint. We're going to do other things to help you. And so that happens every other month, those skill sprints. But Momentum FBA really will help you get some consistency and not be overwhelming. A lot of times, we've got these big, huge courses, and a lot of times people buy them, but then they're just overwhelming because, like, a 3 hour course or a 4 hour course sometimes is just too overwhelming. But if you join Momentum FBA, um, you can start making better choices with your sourcing. You can start making better choices with how you run your business, how you organize your business. Um, and and if you sign up for Momentum FBA with the annual membership before noon on Monday, you get invited to a live Monday night 2 hour profit check intensive. Like I said before, I am only scratching the surface with what I showed you today. It was just kind of an overview. And I can talk for multiple hours about Profit Check 5 because there's so much more I need to tell you. Because there's other situations. I mean, we'll talk about, okay, what happens if Amazon's a competitor? How do you handle that? How do you handle when this situation happens? I'm going to go through those. And if there's something I didn't bring up or talk about and you have a question about, you get to ask me those questions. So it's going to be a 2 hour live intensive. Yes, we're going to have a bathroom and a snack break in the middle. Don't worry, it's not going to be 2 hours straight, but you get access to that. And if you can't make it live, you get, access to the replay. But that's only for those who sign up for an annual membership. So you go to fulltimefba.com/annual. You can lock in that bonus, that Profit Check 5 Mastery Intensive. So I just want to encourage you, check out Momentum FBA. Go to fulltimefba.com/annual, lock in your sale rate that will be the sale rate forever. So it's like if you decide you want to keep sticking with a Momentum FBA in year two, guess what? You have your price locked in. It's not going to go up. And then you also get all the other bonuses because we have more annual bonuses that are going to be dripped out throughout the entire year that are only for those of you who have signed up for an annual membership. So I encourage you to do that, and we're going to have a good time growing each other's Amazon business together. And I can't wait to help you with that.
All right. I do want to add to what Stephen was saying. I have a question that I want to ask about Momentum FBA that's come in, and then I've also got questions about the content that we're covering. But I want to say one of the really unique things about Momentum FBA that sets it apart from other courses or coaching programs or subscription type products that or membership type things that you can get to learn about Amazon is that it is completely focused on implementation.
Yep.
We have designed it so that it's not about just like, here's a bunch of information, enjoy, see if you can figure it out, because that's what the internet is for. There is so much free information out there. And honestly, we've put out a lot of it. If you are looking for free information, it's out there. You can ask ChatGPT just about anything. Whether or not you can trust what it says is another question. But we are focused on helping you to implement what it takes to get daily sales in your FBA business so that you can scale and so that you can get to that point of full-time income or whatever your financial goal is for your business. And so implementation, putting things into practice, co-working sessions, Q&A sessions, making sure that you're actually taking action and walking you through step by step is what we're all about. Which brings me to a really great question that Greg had. Would this be a good choice for someone who's having trouble getting off the ground due to overwhelm? And overwhelm is, I think, one of the top 3 things that we hear from people in Momentum FBA that is the reason why they signed up. One of them is that they are struggling to manage their time. I would say that's probably the number one. Number two is I don't know what to do next. And I
Yeah.
think that's where overwhelm comes in. It's like there's just so many things. How do I even choose? And so, absolutely, the way we have designed this membership is you get immediate access to all of the modules that are out there so far, but it's all set up on like a weekly basis. What we're doing live is on a weekly basis. And we've set it up so for instance, our 30-day sprint that we did in September, and we do a sprint every other month for, the one that we've got coming up in November is a 7-day cash flow sprint. But the 30-day RA sprint that we did, every single day you get a task that you can complete. Some of them you could do in 15 minutes, others would take up to an hour to do. And it helps you to have direction each day of that time period. Like, okay, I'm focused on learning RA during this a period of time. And you have a task, you're directed what to do, and you're building up, putting in those reps of getting the work done and learning how to scale, learning how to source, learning how to make good decisions. And so it is perfect. That's why we designed it, is to help with the overwhelm, because honestly, that's the world we live in, is there's just so much information, and how do we know what to pay attention to? And so we want to help with that. We also have the other bonus that is available of the Profit Check Intensive. That's going to be a 2-hour session where we do a deeper dive into the things that Stephen was showing tonight, because there are things like Keepa, you could go for hours trying to learn Keepa. And so we want to do a little bit more on that and some of the other things, restrictions and other stuff that you covered. So that is available at that annual membership. So,
And I do want to say, Matthew just brought up something in the chat. He's like, I just signed up for the annual. I was already in on the monthly, and I'm looking forward to it. Will you guys delete the monthly
yes.
automatically, or do I need to email? So no, we will take if you are already a monthly subscriber and you just locked in your annual membership, we will go in and take care of canceling the monthly. You're not going to be double charged. No need to worry about that. We will take care of that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. But thanks for asking. That's a really good point. If you are already a member and are wanting to upgrade, go ahead and do that now so that you get your strategy call, you get all your bonus and all of that. I'm trying to help you with the editing here, Stephen. And yeah, we will take care of canceling the monthly for you. And if you're going to sign up new, it's the same link for both fulltimefba.com/annual. All right. Thank you. I don't know if you saw Jessica's happy birthday message, but
Yeah,
Steve,
I'm old. That's how old I
he's
am.
21. We have a friend who is about 20 years younger than us who has the birthday the same day as Steven, and she was like, "Oh, we're both 21 now." Really funny. We're like, "Yeah, we're both 21."
Yep.
She's not 21 either. Um, all right, questions that were coming in earlier from the topics. So on Keepa, good Keepa question here. When you were looking at that, why does the buy box price sometimes disappear on the Keepa graph?
Yeah, if the buy box price, which is one of my favorite things to look at on a keeper graph, I hadn't even gone into the buy box. We'll definitely go into that
That's something
in
for
our
Monday,
intensive.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. If the buy box is not being shown on a keeper graph, it means the buy box was suppressed on Amazon. And so if there's no buy box data to grab from Amazon, then Keepa is not going to be able to show you. And so a lot of times Amazon will suppress the buy box if they think the price is too high in comparison to the kind of demand that particular uh, product is experiencing. And um, yeah, so then when there's no buy box, when if a customer wants to buy it, they click see 5 people starting at this price, and they'll see all 5 sellers and then decide, okay, I'm going to pick the lowest price or the one with the best uh, feedback score or whatever. And so if there's not a buy box, then it's that if there's no buy box data, it's just because there is no buy box. And there's our strategies that you can do in those situations as well.
Yep. Okay, so how does Amazon determine which seller's product to sell? For example, if there's eight FBA sellers and two fulfilled by merchant sellers, how does Amazon choose the seller's product over the other nine?
Yeah, we actually went into this in our how to 2x your sales mini course that dropped this month. But very quickly, Amazon rotates who gets in the buy box, and so every seller who qualifies for the buy box gets a percentage of time in the buy box, but it's rotated. And there's a lot of different factors for that go into it. The two biggest ones are the price and then how many you have in stock. So if there's a seller with one in stock, they might get a smaller percentage of time in the buy box versus another seller who has 10 in stock. And so, and there's a lot more that goes into that, but Amazon does rotate it, and they use an algorithm based off of the seller metrics. They give you the better seller metrics you have, the more time you'll get in the buy box. And so, but the thing is, so sometimes it's just you're lucky if you get the sale. Other times it's because you've worked your butt off and have earned more time in the buy box.
Yep. Gotta love that algorithm.
Haha.
Okay, so of the five profit check that we talked about, and obviously profit itself is like a whole different thing. Like we're not even including that
It's in the name.
profit because why would you be looking at an item and trying to decide to buy it if it wasn't profitable? So
Right.
that's why we don't include that in the five because duh, make sure you're making money. But like of the five that we covered, the restrictions, sales history, price history, um, what was the other? The competitors and the product match, the
Yep.
product page match. Um, how could you rank those in order? Are they already in order? Are they not in any type of order? Like, how would you rank that? Like, of
Yeah,
importance.
I would rank them in the importance that I listed because if you're not approved to sell it, you don't need to look at anything else. So you always want to check to see if you're approved, if there's any restrictions on it. And then the second thing I would look at, I look at the sales rank. Then I look at the pricing history. Then I look at the competition, and then I look to see if it's an exact match. Um, just because the exact match sometimes you want to double check and not just do a quick glance. I mean, like there's we used to sell these little coffee pods, and there was a few sales page there's a few sales pages on Amazon that was the coffee pods, and then there was another one that was the coffee pods and like a little square of chocolate. And I'm like, and so I realized, okay, I can't sell. I don't want customers. I'm mad I didn't get my chocolate. I mean, you try not giving someone chocolate and not make them mad. So, and
I mean,
so,
especially me.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything.
You weren't
Um,
going to name names, but
right. And so, but I don't want to go into that in-depth look if all the other things aren't, checked off my list.
right, yeah. Um, Why might your offer not appear in the buy box if you're checking from your computer? Like, where's the best place to look to see buy box? I've tried this before. I'll like go look at the product page.
Yeah, well, again, we went into this a lot in our how to 2x your sales. One of the things about the buy box is that it's geographical. So me in North Texas, I'm going to see items in the buy box that are probably going to be stored at a North Texas fulfillment center. But someone in Washington State, they would see a buy box of items that are stored at a fulfillment center in Washington. So that's why we highly recommend. I mean, we're called full-time FBA for a reason. Highly recommend FBA over merchant fulfilled because FBA it spreads out your inventory all over the United States and it sends your inventory to places that are lacking it so that there's, inventory as close to other customers as possible. And so, if you're able to purchase a few items and have those items be sent to warehouses all over the US, you're going to increase your chances of your customer seeing it because it's geographical. Um, I mean, it's not always 100% geographical. Sometimes it's still, there's other factors involved to think through, but that might be why it looks like the buy box for me is different from the buy box for you.
Yep.
But not you, Rebecca. You'll have the same buy box as me.
Yeah, I mean, we do share like an Amazon account, so
Yes, and a house. So,
and a house and location, all of that.
yeah.
All right. So, last call if you have any questions. Y'all have been asking really great questions tonight. Go ahead and let us know in the chat or in the Q&A, and I'll get those over to Stephen. Do want to let you know we're getting down to the wire here. If you want to sign up at the for the annual membership at that discount rate, save $220 off of the annual price, the regular price, fulltimefba.com/annual. You also will get the bonus that's available for everybody that signs up before Monday at noon of that Monday intensive session Monday evening, where we're going to go in depth, do a deeper dive on each of these profit checkpoints. So let me know what last questions you have. What else do you have to say, Stephen?
I mean, I just want to say that this right here, the Profit Check 5, this is a checklist that you can start using today. I know today is almost over, but if you want to do some online arbitrage, or if there's a retail store near you that's open, you can start using this today and going through and getting more confidence in your sourcing decisions. And so, I recommend doing that because the longer we wait to apply what we've learned, the more possible ways we're going to just keep putting it off. And so try to apply this as soon as possible and definitely sign up for a Momentum FBA. Do it before Monday at noon Central Time because the price goes up $220 at that time. Again, that link, fulltimefba.com/annual. But if you are tired of doing your Amazon business on your own and you want more support, you want someone to kind of show you the way, you want someone to actually map out the steps to take, walk you through that, be available for questions, and help you grow your Amazon business so that you can build up a profit snowball over time. We're here for you. So if you want to learn more information about Momentum FBA, you can go to fulltimefba.com/momentum. But the link for the sale price for the annual membership, fulltimefba.com/annual. And we want to help you grow your Amazon business. We've been doing it for over a decade. I think I've been selling on Amazon for 14 years now. Um, and
Since 2011.
yes, so I think
Q4 2011.
yeah, I actually started in November of 2011. And so we love helping people grow their Amazon business. And you folks have been really great in the chat, very encouraging and very helpful, and very kind. And we just look forward to growing your Amazon business. So fulltimefba.com/momentum for Momentum FBA. And if you want to save $220, fulltimefba.com/annual.
Yep. And I do want to say about the Profit Check 5, I always like to say that I was the original full-time FBA coaching student. Um, so many of the PDFs and checklists and templates and other things that we put together in Momentum FBA and for our coaching clients, who go on beyond Momentum FBA and do like the group coaching or one-on-one coaching. So many of that comes from what I put together for myself as a cheat sheet or as something to help me to remember things or to learn something easier. And the Profit Check 5 is one of those. It's like I had to have, because confession time, I would get going so fast sometimes with OA and whatnot that I would just make a decision and buy something. I think somebody said this in the chat earlier too, where it's like you buy something and you realize later, oh, I forgot that one step. Now I can't sell this. What am I going to do with this item that
Yeah.
I've purchased? And so I put together a cheat sheet for myself of like, okay, don't forget to do all these things. And it gets to where it's second nature and you don't have to look at it, but you still are mentally going through that checklist. And so love to say that I'm the first coaching student. That's how we put those things together for you. And it's super practical is how we've designed it. So Last call for any questions. Thank you so much for those. Greg has signed up for annual membership. Matt has upgraded his monthly to annual. We're so excited for y'all, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday at that intensive. And we just are so grateful for y'all being here. It's been really fun in the chat and talking with you.
Yeah, see, Jessica said I just signed up. Can't wait to see what's in store for 25 Q4 in the future. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome for sure. Well, I guess if that's it for tonight. I don't see any other questions. I just see some really kind comments of everyone saying thank you and people who've signed up. And so
Yeah.
that's really awesome. So again, fultonefba.com/annual, lock in your annual membership. That will be your price for life until you die, I guess. That sounds bad. I shouldn't have said that. That's not a good way to end the show. Anyway,
Till
we'll
death do
yeah,
us part.
yes. Yeah, so we'll see y'all on Monday night for our Profit Check 5 intensive, showing you even more how to make quality decisions where you can walk away with confidence and profit in your pocket. And so we'll see you then. So God bless everyone. Bye.